Alright, I think Ice Mistral is standing around in the Giza somewhere. I need to do her task force. There we go. Got her. You can definitely tell I have done this strike force a lot less than almost anything else in the game. I could probably count the number of Ice Mistrals I've ever done on my fingers. Like on live, this is not a popular choice to do. The signature character surprised me forgetting about cross-faction shenanigans. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say that's also to one of the game's strengths right there. Is just let you go do whatever you want. And you just have fun doing it. Alright, so we'll start Ice Mistral here. This strike force is all about like growing psychic coral or something like that. We're just going to punch a lot of Circle of Thorns guys, alright? Let's slap a time limit. I don't think we'll get this done in 30 minutes because I don't remember these missions. But we're gonna try. Oh, and our teleports aren't back up yet either. Ugh! Danger! Danger! Oh, am I gonna get lucky? There's a helicopter here. That might get us a little closer to where we need to go in Nerva. But yeah, Ice Mistral is not something I've ever done a lot. Like, we didn't do them very much on live because we didn't know how to speed them as well as, like, Terracos. So we sure did a lot of Virgil Terracos strike forces. In the rare occasion you feel like RP in your character, you assume the quest giver is giving you serious side-eye. That seems appropriate, because they probably are. I think this will be my second time soloing Ice Mistral. Not sure. I think this is something I soloed on my Titan Weapon Bio Brute. So, anyway, we'll find out. We'll just go do it. I don't remember anything in here being all that difficult except for all the exploding pink stuff in the last mission. Find the crystal and defeat all mages. Please be a small, like, reasonable sized map. This is not a reasonable map, is it? Please go away. Thank you. Really, I don't think you need to think about that too hard, because in modern comic books, man, people do heel face turns so often. Sides, allegiances, teams, none of that matters. There's absolutely no stability in modern superhero comics. Like, it's all written for shock value and what'll help us sell like an extra 1,000 units this month and piss people off so they stop reading our book. Like, I pretty much quit buying Marvel comics, which is crazy, because I really enjoy X-Men books. I really enjoy Spider-Man books. I like a lot of the Marvel cosmic shenanigans. And now, like, the way everything's written is just kind of like, this is completely alien to me. None of these characters are written like how they used to be. And when it comes to DC, I only buy the weird, silly books these days. Or like stuff that I know is self-contained. Like Deceased was alright. Most of it was alright. Justice League vs. Godzilla was a treat. And while I still haven't read it, shut up, please don't remind me. The like Justice League and Sonic crossover looks like it's a hoot, man. The artwork in those books is just full of life. It makes you feel good when you flip through it. Like, what was the last sequence of things to happen to Frank Castle? Let's see. The Punisher decided he couldn't use guns anymore because they're too killy or something. He joined the Hand around the same time. He changed his logo. And then they resurrected his dead family so his wife could kill him. And that's how the Punisher died. This is canonical. This is, in fact, what happened. I didn't make a single bit of that up. And then they introduced a new Punisher. What was the guy's name? Garrison? Like Joe Garrison or something? And I don't know where that went, man. It's just like, this is dumb. I'm not even going to care about, like, following it. So I don't know if they brought Frank back to life or not. Like, who cares? I stopped caring about the story and became an IP. Yeah, I mean, that was always kind of the case, though. Like, comic book companies are always trying to find that money, man. Like everybody else. You gotta make a living. But I know what you mean. Don't take my commentary, like, don't construe it as me saying, like, I don't know what you mean, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, where'd this guy come from? The fact that nobody at Marvel Comics has in the last 20 years been fired because Dan Slott and Joe Quesada hate Spider-Man and Mary Jane being together says everything you need to know about modern comic books. Instead, we got, what was the guy's name? Like, Mary Jane had, like, dream babies in an alternate universe with some nerd, Paul, or something. Like, who cares? And frankly, I'm kind of tired of them teasing people about that. Either commit to the bit, or kill Mary Jane off. Or have her go marry Paul, and just, like, ruin Peter so that Peter kills himself or something. Ooh, I just got demonetized. I said forbidden words. They just canceled, like, 2 Spider-Man books this month, I think. The Spider-Boy book, because Dan Slott left and went to DC. And then wasn't there a book that was like Spider-Man? Like, who is that even about? How? Everything needs to stop being like families of heroes. How about that? Can we stop having families of heroes? How many spider-based characters do you even really need? Who all somehow have like gotten radiation-based spider powers? It's like, what? How many freaking radioactive spiders are running around New York City? That's right, Arcus is the AV in this, isn't he? Well, Acolyte Arcus, we're going to take you and your boss out. Deal with it, buddy. Look at this place. Does this even count as a temple? I mean, look at it. This is just like some weird giant underground mega construction. But yeah, a lot of the weird random like one-offs and stuff from DC are a lot of fun. People really seem to like DC versus vampires or whatever it is, but I never picked up any of those things. Like I was kind of good with just Deceased, which is like DC zombie stuff. And it's actually a lot of fun. Although I'm still a little salty about the fact that the New 52 reboot literally just let them rerun the same stories from decades ago. It's like, come on, guys. We missed the dude all the way back there. Wherever that is. Okay. Fly up here? Yeah, there's the door. Where did this guy even come from? The New 52 reboot was also, like, weirdly messy. Because there were bits of canon that were still true from the previous continuity. Like, some of the Batman stuff was. Do you have to do this in a particular place? Okay, we're gonna go beat the Circle of Thorns up in Kappa Diablo because it doesn't say where to do it. Complicated was 93 to 2006. I think that's there's some pretty good years in there. There's also some really like hilariously cringe stuff in that period, which is also kind of fun. There was one book, I think it was like from the mid-'80s I picked up. It's by, oh, I don't remember his old name that was actually on the book. But he goes by Christopher Priest now. He's a really fantastic writer, actually. He's doing this Vampirella run that's pretty boss. But he did a book at Marvel. It was a one-shot. It was Spider-Man vs. Wolverine. And it's just really wonderful. There's stakes. The characters feel like real people. The reason why they're fighting makes perfect sense. Like, it's not a case of, you know, a misunderstanding or something. They're fundamentally at odds, but not because either of them are evil. Just, it's the clash of their moralities. And it was a really well done book. I'm so glad I picked that up a couple years ago. Like, there's a lot of gems out there in comic books. Even in modern comics, there's still some stuff that's really good. I just don't think it's coming from the big two. For the most part, anyway. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, I do seem to be wrong on that. A lot of people seem to think that DC's absolute stuff. Jim Owsley, yeah! That's the man! He is such a good writer, man. He is such a good writer. But there's lots of great stuff out there. Even in modern stuff, you can still find some cool things. I was in, when I was on my business trip, I was in Rick's comic shop down in Nashville, and there was like some books from DC and Marvel. It's like, some of these look like they have interesting premises, but I'm like, I'm out, guys. A lot of people say Absolute's great. I kind of mock it because it feels like DC's just trying to do the Ultimate Universe again. Also, Ultimate Batman is hilarious looking, and I refuse to take it seriously. Like, I would have to take a Batman book seriously. So I have avoided it. But you know what? If it's great and people like it, I'm very happy that people are able to get the book that they're enjoying. But that's one of the things that I find a little off-putting, too, in all this, is like everything has to be tied up in some kind of event. It's tied up in All In. It's an Absolute book. Here we go. Justice League Unlimited. All In. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman. All In. Everything is tied up in some stupid event. You don't have any interesting things that just stand on their own. Marvel Universe started, or Marvel Ultimate started strong and they got weird. Yeah. True. I think that's probably a case of there was no editorial oversight for the writing room. And didn't they change like writers at some point? Like somebody left and the guys that were still working on it like decided to go screw all his storylines over? All In is DC shorthand for not tied to a specific event. That doesn't make sense at all. Why would you need to brand not an event? You just have a book. Like, see? That's a marketing problem right there. That is a marketing problem. If I look at this and I go, ah, yeah, that's an event, because they branded it like it's an event, then, and I'm not interested in events, then they fucked up, if you'll pardon my French. And I believe you will pardon my French. And if you don't, I'm sorry. Please pardon it. Like, that's not how you do it. If there's not an event, you don't need to market it like there's a freaking event. So I just assume every book in DC right now, since they're all branded that way, are part of some ongoing event. If that's not true, oh well. The ad copy, you know, you look at it, they're all branded All In. There must be an event called All In going on, and I'm not interested in it. However, I'm very interested in the upcoming Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong 2 or whatever it is. I think that's going to be a hoot. What they're trying to do is tell people this is a comic that you can start with. Don't need to worry about decades of continuity. No, you just need to know a year worth of continuity for literally all these books because they all got rebooted a year ago. Look, man, when I was getting into comics as a small, tiny person, right? And reading these books, they were on like issue number 380. You didn't need to worry about decades of continuity because if you need to know something, they just told you an editorial note. You know, see Captain America number 222. And you're just like, okay, cool. So Captain America or the Red Skull or whoever has laser beam vision now. All right, that's fine. And just roll with it. You just have fun. I realize there's like a section of the... I'm going to use the word. There's like a section of the fan base that gets a little overly into continuity. I get that. But come on, man. You know how you make a good jumping on point? You have one-shots that aren't all tied together. Then every book is a jumping on point. It's a plan so crazy, the 1960s through early 90s want you to pay them for it. Because that's what they did. When comics were selling gangbusters, that's how they rolled. Hey, buddy. Are you the one who need to beat up the Seek Shards? But all-in branding sounds like I need to be all into the story arc, right? I need to be all in on all these products. I have to go buy all of the products to be all in. And if that's not the intention, they sure picked the wrong marketing buzz for that, because that is not what they are telling me. What do I know? I'm just an unfrozen caveman lawyer. So you've already gone through trouble of figuring out long-running continuity to the point where you could follow what was happening. You're actually turned off by... Yeah! You jettison a lot of old fans with reboots. Like, how many... here's an example. How many times has the X-Men been rebooted in the... since, like, the extinction happened in, like, 2018? Which itself was preceded by like a soft reboot, because the original 5 were time traveling, which is what Extinction was kind of about. It was dealing with that. And then that led into House of X, Powers of X, which has led to what, like 2 or 3 other reboots since then? How do you keep rebooting something? Like, that's what it feels like. Every time I look at what's going on with the X-Men, because I want to get back into X-Men because I love the X-Men, it's just somehow gotten completely strange, and I'm just like, why is Mr. Sinister a good guy hanging out with the X-Men? And why did half of their books get canceled this month? And then they've launched another like 20 books. I don't know. You don't think you had a 90s SNL reference on your bingo card? Look, I say that line or variations on it sometimes. I'll also say like a humble caveman lawyer. I'll say that too, but I bust that out once in a while. Oh, F me. We are not gonna... This is gonna take us 10 minutes to get through this mission. We are not making this time limit. I don't see how anybody could. How could you get through? Even if you're not yakking like me. Even if you're like a quiet son of a gun, like how are you going to get through a boat full of Sioux that quickly? You know, when Yoda was saying lines like hate leads to suffering, this is exactly the mission he was talking about. Fear leads to Sioux, and Sioux lead to suffering. Alright, anyway. Should be one more blue guy with that group. Whatever. Let's just murk all these guys and we'll find the rest. Got him. Got him. Alright, let's come around here. Let him come through the door to us. Enemies should be self-bunching, by the way. That's my earnest and firm belief. That's one of the reasons I find farming PPD, they just kind of teleported in. To be so annoying is because PPD don't, at least at higher levels, don't like to get into hand-to-hand combat. They all stay at range, and it's annoying as all get out. Yeah, your reading experience sounds kind of like mine. And you know what? The amazing thing is, there are decades of absolutely wonderful stories that you can get, and they're actually pretty cheap for the most part. A lot of the really silly fun stuff just ends up in the like dollar bin because nobody wants to collect it. And so you can pick up some stuff in there that's just really weird or really interesting. It may not be good per se. You know, it may have bad art or the writing's kind of clunky or whatever, but then it's like, huh, this is weird and kind of neat. It's fun to see unique stuff. To see people's crazy ideas that may not have actually panned out once they started having to deal with the reality of selling their book. Now, I've run into a number of comic books in my reviews and stuff on YouTube where it's like, this is the only book produced by this company type stuff, or there's literally no information about this book anywhere on the internet. Or you start digging in and you find out that this is a comic book that was popular, like, in the area it was published. Like, oh, yeah, people in Michigan read this book, but nobody else. Some of that post-crisis material is a lot of fun. DC also made some very interesting choices with the original like Crisis event that I'm not sure were all for the better. Like what had happened to the Supergirl character? She got replaced by like Galatia or something for like 6 months before Supergirl returned. Something like that, or maybe she had a different name. I don't remember. Galatia might be the name of the clone from like Justice League Unlimited. But the point isn't like that particular thing. It's just kind of like, you know, the decisions that were made were just odd. And they also got rid of a lot of stuff that was actually a lot more interesting than the things that they were doing and the things that came up later. Like, wasn't Huntress originally Bruce Wayne's daughter? Him and Selina Kyle? Right? Wasn't like the original iteration of the Huntress, and then she became like this random lady whose like dad was killed by mobsters. Like they're so weird. Oh God, don't you just remind me of all that stuff? Yeah, the Supergirl. It's weird, man. Every era has weird choices, and that's part of the charm of it. Feed everyone in up. Oh God, another kill-all? Another kill-all. Time's gonna expire before we finish this map. Woo! And oh my God, okay. Here's another one. What's Wonder Woman's current origin story? Does anybody even know? Like, is Wonder Woman back to being an actual daughter, or is she a statue that Zeus brought to life, or you know what I mean? Like, what exactly is going on here? Nobody knows. Oh, dude, that eye glow they added to the Harlequin masks looks really good. Just saw it. Like, just stood out. From the other Earths? Well, it's from the original main Earth, the one that like it was the continuity that started in the '60s, which would have been that's the Earth where the Superman that stayed behind and lost, like in the Crisis. That Superman, that's the one where he came from. Was that Earth 2? But that's like where the Golden Age characters originally held from in that continuity. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, I would like to see a story of how Bruce Wayne deals with his daughter becoming a vigilante. Like, I think that's very interesting material to go over. You know, not one of his adopted children that he's groomed into the role because he's a psychopath. Sorry, Ninja Weasel. But, you know, his actual daughter that he doesn't want to see die, right? I think that would be a very interesting story to read. You could get several years worth of interesting stuff out of that premise. Start with her, you know, you could start that story when she's like in her early teens or something, and she's like, "What are you doing, Dad?" You know, she like catches him putting on the Batman costume or something. And then you like go from there. And you can tell a really interesting story of how Bruce Wayne, playboy billionaire, secretly Batman, has to balance all these different things in his life. And does he choose to keep being Batman, or does he pick like the path of actually being a good parent? Does he let her make his own or her own choices? The answer is, of course, no, because that's not what Bruce does. But wouldn't that be a lot more interesting than Bruce fights like the Joker for the 17th time, or we have invented a new character who has like a new villain who has a new weird gimmick, like he's Calendar Man, but he can only do evil on days that are holidays in both United Kingdom and Australia, but aren't based on religion, you know? Like Public Holiday Man. So, you know, like, okay, whatever. Okay, we are not even talking about the game at this point. It's just, listen to Elizibar ramble about comic books because it's midnight and he's tired, and we've apparently dropped 700 frames somewhere. That's terrifying. When was that? It would also be interesting to just have, and they did it a couple years ago when they did stories that spun out of the dark multiverse, but it would also be really interesting to just have them do more Elseworld type stuff. Like, you want somebody to put in like a unique spin on characters, guess what? An Elseworld story is the perfect way to do it. Then your writer or whatever, whoever, like the creator doing it, can leave his mark like on the character. And some of those Elseworlds are better than a lot of the mainline comic books. Red Sun is fantastic. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I also kind of like the Superman story where he was like War of the Worlds. I thought that was a lot of fun. I don't know that it was great, but it was fun. It's just from Earth 2, which is the Earth that mostly mirrored Earth 1, but the main heroes were like 2 decades older, so yeah, so they could have kids, yeah. That's like the world that descended from like the Golden Age books, as opposed to like the soft Silver Age reboots, which is like Earth 1. Why do I know this? Why do I know this? But I think Bruce having a kid, like an actual kid, not freaking Damian. Like, Bruce treats Damian just like he treats all of his adopted kids, but like making Bruce actually have to do parent stuff. With a kid that wasn't born to a psychotic assassin family. Seems like that would be so much fun. The most interesting, best Batman story I have read in the last couple of years was the Joker manga the writer of that story, whoever the mangaka was, like understands Batman better than a lot of mainstream comic book writers does. It's absolutely a phenomenal work. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it understands Batman and his heroism. It is one of the strongest recommendations I can give you of a book that I think is just wildly enjoyable. Seeing the Joker get defeated by things like paperwork is kind of funny. All right, let's see. There's a big hole we have to jump down somewhere. I remember that. In this room? It is not in this room. Or maybe it is. Oh, it's got to be in this room. Is it in here? No. Ah, here it is. Here we go. Here we go. And Arcus is like down at the bottom floor. You got to be careful here because you can set off a chain reaction on all the pink stuff. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Arcus himself. Well, I'll check your commentary out in just a second. I want to get this under control here. Okay. Your ideal DC is basically tied to when you started reading it in 93, 94. So Wally West, Kyle Rayner, Dick Grayson is Nightwing, Jason Todd is dead, Tim Drake is my Robin. Yeah. I think that's a perfectly reasonable universe to live in. Although I'll say, under the red hood, when Jason Todd comes back, not a bad story. And I also like the premise of it. Yeah, he got resurrected because Superboy got so mad he punched his way back into the universe and he broke it. Like, I like that because that's completely dumb. I don't know if that's still canon. That's why Todd is back with Superboy. Because that was canon at some point. And it might still be. I don't know. I think that was before at least one of the reboots. So it's probably not canon. Oh, look, all these crystals are making it so they can't draw the overlords that are coming at me. Right about now. Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. Yeah, let's see. Jason Todd was already back by the time Final Crisis rolled around, which is why him... Oh, God, what was the team he was with? It was him, Starfire, and Bizarro? Right? When New 52 rebooted, wasn't like that like the crew he was running with? What a weird set of characters. Who came up with that? Hold on, we need to get the succubus over here. You need to go away, lady. We don't play your games around here. And then she had a friend. I really think after, wow, brain. Way to just stop. Alex Ross. Kingdom Come. I really think after Kingdom Come, they should just rename the mainline old school Green Lantern to just be the Sentinel, like he was in that. Like, it's a great name. And he has no relation to any of the other Lanterns, so why not? What was his name? Alan Scott, right? Who his power set has like gotten dramatically more crazy over the years. Because at some point, like, it was revealed that he's not actually weak to fire and stuff anymore. Or wood. That's what it was. Wood. He just thinks he is, and so that's why he's weak to it. Because he's become a being of, like, his body is made of willpower. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm reading here, guys, but okay. I'm not gonna lie, this fight's not fun. It's just kind of here. Like, Arcus can't actually hurt me. Man, if you remove the stupid vulnerabilities from heroes, it doesn't actually make them better characters. I realize yellow's a stupid vulnerability to have when you just think about the fact that it's a color, but it's because it's what the color represents, right? Fear. So the reality is, Green Lantern should be vulnerable to yellow, but very powerful Green Lanterns, like Kyle Rayner, probably should be able to overcome that because they don't have the fear. Like, in that particular case, like, the color represents the existential struggle that they as a person have to go through as they use their powers, as they go about being space cops. And I realize there's the whole storyline thing, you know, removing the yellow impurity and all that, but whatever. I think that story about the OG Green Lantern not having the wood vulnerability anymore was about 10 years after that, because wasn't the yellow vulnerability like late 90s? And I think the book I'm thinking of was like 2008. Alright, so does making an enemy be a giant blob of HP make that enemy any harder to fight in this situation? Our victory was always assured against Arcus. He never had a chance to stop us. So all this has done is drag this fight out. Okay, it's just a fire guy. It's not a succubus. This is not a big deal. I thought there was a whole storyline where he was dealing with the parallax thing, and that was the whole impetus for all that stuff. This is just annoying. You're just annoying me, game. That's all this is. You're just annoying me. There's two of them now. Look at this, man. Every time we just look away from this guy to deal with the succubi, he just heals all the way back up. This is just annoying. Arcus, you can't win, bro. Did they nerf these, man? Yeah, maybe not. We just got to keep him on him. If homie decides he's gonna summon some more dudes, I'm just gonna be like, signature summon and Shivan, let's go. Like, I'm tired of this fight. Man, the Spectre is another character that's just completely weird. How do you go from being like an undead detective guy, right, to the spirit of vengeance? Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I knew what you meant. Although I'll go ahead and say, like, I am not super familiar with the Spectre as a character. I've read a couple Spectre books. It didn't do a whole lot for me. I find him kind of like Dead Man, where he's a character that's interesting when he shows up in other people's books. He's pretty much a crossover character, yeah. Arcus, dude, will you just go away? Alright, forget it. Shivan. Sirocco. Let's just get this over with. I'm gonna heal for half of my health bar periodically. Yeah, thanks, jerk. Kills for 5,000 HP. That's obscene. What's Rogue? Why are they running away from him? Oh, is it his? He's got a dark debuff, doesn't he? Yeah, okay. Apparently my meltdown's imminent. I don't know what that means, but it's up there. It's on the screen. It's a thing. There we go. We now have Strike Force Commander. Isn't that amazing? Beautiful. Beautiful work, guys. Fantastic. He's just going to go smash crystals. You know, it's all right. Here, you can go back to bed, Sirocco. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I clicked it, but I don't know what that means. It says meltdown. Like, The crash doesn't actually hurt me in any way I've ever noticed, so why do I care about a big notification? Oh, I don't recover for 10 seconds. I didn't even notice, dude. Because I just hit this button, and it, you know, gave me endurance. The crash is 10% endurance, really? That's so silly. Alright, let's call up Ice Mistral. Beep, boop, beep. Arcus is done for. His network destroyed, the crystal Serafine have restored to Arachnos at last. Excellent, you have done well, Strike Force Tempest, so well that I will be forced to keep my eye upon you. Seems you have more power than I read. We've beaten her up a couple of times at this point. Like, this would be like Silver Mantis saying she had to keep her eye on us. And it's like, that crazy lady wants a date again, you know? And her idea of a date does not mesh with mine. Twigdrasil, oh my gosh, what a great name! What a great name! Oh, let's come around here. Get a front side view of this dude. Twigdrasil. There we go. I gotta drop this on my Discord server so Ninja Weasel can react to it and go, what the heck? Oh, wrong chat. Oh, whenever I see like one of these goofy punny names, man, I feel jealous that I didn't come up with it first. On the other hand, I also was not trying to come up with it, so I can't feel too bad. Good stuff. Alright, so that was Ice Mistral done. We got Strike Force Commander, which I guess is like Task Force Commander, but for Strike Forces or something. It gave us some power here. Sheer willpower, resist effects. Oh! So it's a break free that stays in our tray. Well, that's handy. Yeah, we'll keep that little button out here. We will take the Enchantment Serafina out of our tray, though. Cool, cool.